Sorry, I just
well, they're
don't
not
see
even
it.
fighting for the people, man.
But that means not. Mayor Daley is not working for our neighborhood. So
True.
when you fight against Mayor Daley, you're fighting for the people. Because at the end of the day, when you look at 2 tickets, they boot and tow your car. You look at all the fees and everything going up, and you got people getting triple pensions. The alderman not saying anything against that. I look at the way that when people are being shot and killed, they put $60 million into the schools so that they can pay the people to go out and patrol. And the way I see that is, and it's good, you say you creating jobs, but we, African Americans primarily, got to really analyze who's creating the jobs, because the jobs become controlled. Mayor Daley already controls 40,000 city workers. And if you work for the city, are you really going to be vocal against the policies that might be hurting your neighborhood? Chances are you're not, because you might lose your livelihood to take care of your family. So if we and President Obama and the federal government gave us extra money for safety, that means more control for the current administration, who's already got and appointed over 15 of the African American aldermen. So that means we're going to stay in the status quo. The people who are going to get the jobs are the people who are friends to the current administration. So we really got to think about some independent
well,
shit.
Let's talk about what we talked about off camera. We talked about this video is going to run in March. We're taping it in February.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on the computer, on the YouTube,
right,
instantly. For those of you, we're always on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But David Hoffman ran for U.S. Senate. I don't really know David Hoffman. I've met some of his people, but I don't know him. Mm-hmm. There's he's throwing out flags, running up flags up the flagpole, if you will, to see if he would run for mayor, run for the city of Chicago. I don't know David Hoffman, but I don't care if it's David Hoffman or somebody who's going to challenge Mayor Daley and the status quo. Do you think they're going to come talk to you, Cyron Smith, and the little old people like me and those of us behind this camera?
Well, I put it to you this way: we're becoming a force in this city, and so I will hope that they would. In the event that they do not, we'll continue to organize. And part of our political club that we're establishing block by block is so that we can make certain that we are analyzing all the politicians as well as the candidates and keeping a record on what they're doing for the neighborhood during election years and non-election years. So if he does not talk to us, we'll send invites out and try and get him out to talk to us. But I'm not all the way sold yet on Mr. Hoffman, because part of the reason is when he was the
Inspector General, yeah,
the issues that he challenged the mayor on and embarrassed the mayor on was not things that was really impactful to our neighborhood. And so I wanted to, and I didn't see it amongst anybody, so at least he is some glimmer of hope, somebody who would say anything counter to the mayor. But we really had the 29th Ward Alderman just, pleaded guilty. The inspector didn't protest the law that says he cannot investigate the alderman. So here you are in charge of investigating fraud, mismanagement, but the law says you can't investigate the city council. That tells us if he can't investigate, who will? That means they go untouched. Thank God for the federal government doing their own investigations so that we can root out this type of corruption.
We could talk about the community with 13 minutes into the show. Let's talk about a new era of politics in Chicago. Now, and people say it's not going to happen. They say Chicago's not ready for reform. But if Mr. Hoffman or anybody runs for political office nowadays, shouldn't they propose term limits for the governor? I mean, for all states.
You're not serious if you don't, because the truth of the matter, if our president of the United States cannot go and seek a third term, how can we allow any lesser office to do just that? So we have to make certain whoever's talking about reform that they initiate term limits. That's one thing. We got to have increased transparency. Right now, the city is fighting on several fronts to not divulge information, because they say that even though we have the Freedom of Information Act, it will cost the city more money to do all that research. Well, it should be some penalties in there if they're really serious about reform, that if you don't create them systems and mechanisms to retrieve information like that, then you'll be held liable for it, versus just saying it's too much of an administrative burden and you can't do it. The other thing I think we need to do, New York and Los Angeles both have larger populations than Chicago, do not have as many aldermen than we do. New York has 51, but New York is 8 million people strong in 5 different boroughs. So I can see them having 51 aldermen. Los Angeles has 15 city councilmen. Why do we need 50 wards to manage the city of Chicago?
And well, I disagree with you on that, but that's okay. People need to know Los Angeles is like 3.5, damn near 4 million people in the city of Los Angeles. Huge town.
But keep in mind, it's sprawling. And you got the county, so they got overlapping jurisdictions that keep them tight.
Right.
We have Cook County, which is the largest county in America.
Yeah, second largest.
Well, African American county.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And when I speak, I'm sorry, I'm not being exclusive to other races, but
it is the largest African American county.
African Americans have a unique set of challenges that require a laser focus, and that's my laser focus. Care about everyone, will work with everyone, but I have a laser focus. So I'm talking about the 20 black wards. I'm talking about Cook County being the largest African.
But let's go back. I'm sorry, cut you off. Let me go back to this term limits. See, I don't care if it's Pat Quinn, if Mr. Brady, who may we don't know who's going to be running in the Republican. For governor later on this year, because we have this little dispute right now. Was it Brady or Kirk? Dillard. Not Kirk, but Dillard.
Senate,
Dillard. The point is, these politicians, they really should propose term limits, and then someone either on the outside has to start a committee or some kind of Illinois Tea Party that's not exclusively white. To say that we need to, that's wrong with the Tea Party.
They had some blacks in there.
Yeah, there was a few. It's always a few Negroes, man. It was, they had House of Negroes, few Negroes, Toms and Sambos. We always gonna get a few of those. Right. But what I'm saying is that we need an Illinois Tea Party that's gonna say we need term limits. We have to have a non-binding resolution on the ballot to have term limits for every state office. Also, we have to change the law in the state legislature that whereas the city of Chicago, there's term limits for all city and county offices.
But that's forcing the state to do something that I think the people should stand up and make the
municipality. That's why you have a non-binding resolution, but somebody has to organize that.
And we should. We right now, and we what, less than a year away from
a binding resolution, not a binding resolution. I'm sorry, a binding resolution.
Well, hopefully the state will do a non-binding that'll just pave the way.
Yeah.
We should issue the binding one.
Right.
But here, let me go back to what you're saying, the reform. We definitely should have the term limits. I think if we can have 25 police districts and manage to keep Chicago safe, relatively safe, why do we need double that many lawmakers? You know what I mean? That's something that everyone should ask themselves with that. Because each alderman, when you look at how much money they receive, we're talking about $4 million a year that we can save if we align the
and we're talking about efficient government, lowering the cost of government.
All of that.
Lowering,
pensions, all of
that.
The
pensions, the corruption.
And the fact that technology, you have 311 in most cities that manages the issues that the alderman used to manage.
Right.
So what do you need all the aldermen for when you can dial 311 and you can log on and register what you need?
I know we have to streamline government.
Big time.
And we have to really
and that's
reduce
the part I like about the conservative side where they say government is too big.
It's too big, yeah. I'm all with them.
And for us, we got to look at, because I had someone on the phone saying, the government, that's how we create our jobs.
That's crazy.
That's dysfunctional philosophy to have, that we got to attach ourselves to government.
Tell that guy, most of us do not work for a government. I know African Americans.
The post office.
But I'm saying, I know. That's
It's disfortunate.
I know.
And we had to find a way amongst our community to create jobs in entrepreneurship. We have so many talented people out there that we have to.
We got so much talent, man. We just have to work together. Yeah, we got so much talent.
Before you do any of that, the first thing is to make sure that we're operating efficiently, because whatever we create, it'll be wasted if we're dealing with.
Let's wrap this political talk up by telling folks. Listen to people. No. We can go on. It's all related, but we have to tell the masses that you got to participate. I early voted for the first time. I was shocked how easy it was. I went to the library, 95th Street. I was over with Randy Evans on the library over there on 63rd and Cottage Grove. They had early vote. I'm like, it was so easy. And I was done. So people it's sad that, Cyron, the people that should vote don't vote, and they catch them on hell.
Yeah, but I understand apathy, man. When you feel like it doesn't matter, then, I'm not going to run after the bus when they pulled off already. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it'll be a waste of my time to do it. And that's how they feel with a lot of politics here. So what I would say to everyone, stay encouraged. Change is coming. And we're going to keep at it because we know our ancestors had it 5 words.